The great liberal lie. How America's progressive class sold out the bottom and silenced the truth eye. The fake left's 10-year silence. In 2015, Senator Bernie Sanders and other progressives put their names on letters demanding basic federal human rights for workers, calling for national labor protections and the resurrection of the 1972 National Workers' Compensation Commission. But after that, nothing. A decade later, those same leaders, Sanders, Solwent, the Greens, the DSA class, have gone silent on the very issues that define justice for the working poor. Instead, they build a brand industry around Medicare for all and whole Washington single payer, never admitting that state immunity laws and corporate control medical boards already protect the very doctors and insurers who deny injured workers and the poor their care. They sold slogans, not solutions. 2. The great healthcare deception. They told us healthcare for all. What they didn't tell us was that the doctors, insurers, and review panels are immune from accountability under state systems. They didn't mention that medical malpractice filings have dropped over 80% since the 1990s, not because care got better, but because access to justice was quietly destroyed by tort reform, privatized comp review boards, and union silence. And while they posture for cameras, thousands have fallen into homelessness waiting for benefits, in a system rigged against patients, claimants, and the disabled. The same politicians who cry about inequality criminalize homelessness, turning poverty itself into a crime, and they dare to call that progress. 3. The silence that protects the status quo. You're not imagining it. Even the left now tells us to shut up. Their consultants whisper that talking about systemic fraud or federal labor standards makes candidates unelectable. But here's the truth. They're unelectable anyway, because voters smell the hypocrisy. 10 years of empty promises. 10 years of fake fights. 10 years of silencing those who speak the truth. When whistleblowers are banned while the liars get airtime, you no longer have democracy. You have a market built on deceit. And every silence from a so-called progressive voice becomes complicity in the suffering of millions. For the bipartisan business class, the left and the right, have merged into one ruling class. The ALEC right writes the state immunity laws. The fake liberal left sells those same laws as progressive reforms. And both sides keep workers, immigrants, and the disabled trapped in a maze of denials, waivers, and pilot programs, while billionaires buy both party silence. Sanders' refusal to speak truth on these structural betrayals, after decades of knowing better, borders on moral treason against the very people he once inspired. The socialist, green, and democratic progressive machines have become the PR arms of the business class they claim to oppose. The human costs behind every policy debate are real lives broken, waiting, buried. People purged into homelessness. Immigrant families torn apart by the 1996 laws both parties keep defending. Injured workers dying before their appeals are ever read. Fathers and mothers turn into ghosts in their own country. And through it all, the only message we hear from the so-called left: stay quiet, be patient, wait your turn. No more. 6. America's real reckoning. If a movement cannot defend the injured, the disabled, the poor, and the immigrant, it is not a movement. It is a marketing campaign. If your leaders have been silent for a decade on federal labor rights and immigration amnesty, they are not allies. They are gatekeepers. The right may have built the system, but the fake left now maintains it, guarding the doors for their corporate donors. We cannot fight the business, right, until we first confront the lying liberal left that enables them. This is not left versus right anymore. It's truth versus silence. And the silence is killing people.